Hey guys, back with another YouTube video. I'm going to update you on my hobby space. It's exciting. So I bought a Stormore 10 by 20 side loft or it has a double loft in it. And you can see through the pictures here, that's the projected price, but really the total price that I had after it was delivered was $6,905. And they were able to set it up, level it on the blocks, and yeah, it's a perfect size. I wanted to go a little bit bigger, but I also wanted to make a little lean-to for my truck. This is what it looked like starting to run power. I was able to hire some local help with a local handyman, and we were able to run the electrical ourselves. And this is the out right after the next day after we ran the power. So we troughed it from the box there, and it's only 110. I stuck with 110, but I've got two GFCIs outlets on the shop, which is really nice for outdoor stuff. And then, as you can see on the inside, I have two outlets per each wall, and then I have one like a quad duplex on cabinet height, just for that's where I was going to be using my workspaces. And then I've got ran for lights, so I think I have 10 or 12 6-inch recessed can lights. I ran was it 12-2 Romex, just your normal Romex. I ran that also in the lights. You can run a little bit less gauge, but stuck with just everything the same. There's a lot of work, never done this before. If you're an electrician, don't look too close, but I think it worked out pretty good. And here's the outdoor with the new outdoor light camera and the AC. I started to insulate the base plate there, and then also behind all the outlets, because I plan on insulating it. I am in a very humid environment. Here's the R13 batting insulation. Took me about a day to put this in. And yeah, it was pretty self-explanatory. And I'm going to be putting closed cell foam board in the door to help out. You'll see that later. And then spray foam closed cell insulation in the ceiling. Big thing with the closed cell is if you're going to have someone spray it, make sure they clean up their work. That was a lot of extra work that I really didn't intend to do, so that way I could finish it. So at about $350 in R13 batting, and then about $1,000 for someone to come in and put 2 inches of closed cell spray foam in. And then the foam board for the door, it was pretty negligible. I'd say $20 or something. So about $1,350 for all the installation. And it definitely made a massive difference insulating. All right, here I am hanging the drywall. Yeah, so pretty simple stuff, 1/2 inch, nothing too crazy. And you can see there's a few areas. So electrical boxes, the electrician that I use, a handyman, he had his own electrical boxes. They're metal. I would use plastic, just my personal preference. I learned a lot from this project, but yeah, we used the metal ones, and I had to do a lot of extra work to make those work. I had to buy these old mud rings to extend them out a little bit farther from the drywall, so that way they have a finished look. And then you see the open area, that's a junction box. I have a panel there, so that way I can get access to it like at a later time. And here I'm starting to tape up all the seam lines and fill in all the screws. There's my wife helping out. She was a major help in this project, and I couldn't have done it without her. So, and then now we got the roof. That was a lot of work, and I did not buy an extension or a lift or anything to do that, and it worked out pretty good. Here we're starting to apply a orange peel texture with a roller. So I, taped everything up, sanded it down just a little bit, and this way I didn't have to do a lot of extra work for finishing. And then I've got my girls out there. They're doing all the corners for me with little sponges, and this is what it looked like after we did all the orange peel texture on there. And honestly, it came out really good. I haven't painted yet at this stage. Still got to do all the trim. Have a few gaps around the ceiling fan. That was sort of a pain in the butt to try to hang by ourselves, but we made it work. And yeah, this orange fill texture is super simple and it really sped up the whole finishing process. I would really recommend it. And I did this whole project in about a month. So it was a lot of work. Spent a lot of evenings just going out there working until midnight or 1. And you can see that AC unit's really neat. It's a U shape, so the window will actually close right in the middle of it, and you can basically close your window. There's a few spots here. You can see it's still a little wet, so I had to let those dry. One of my tape lines here, again, I'm not a professional, but I just wanted to try to save as much money as I could by doing it mostly 99% myself and with my wife and kids and stuff. So turning out. This is actually painted, so there's a cost there about $900. Ceiling fan was about $80 on Amazon, really cheap one. Has an area that it'll go back and fill sort of wet mud. That corner sunk in a little bit, so I had to do a little patchwork, and then I had another area where I had to cut a little panel to get to the junction box because for whatever reason it wasn't working. So, but yeah, so white primer paint made it look really good. Now the flooring, it's actually a resin infused flooring in the shop, so I didn't really need to add any, but I was able to go to Home Depot and get a really good deal on this on Labor Day weekend. It's laminate vinyl, and I was able to buy the trim boards too. And you can see I'm starting to trim out the windows and caulk. Here's the threshold, so perfect, came out right on the money where I needed it to. And then I added a custom threshold where I added a garage gasket underneath it just to help protect it. And that's about the price that it came out, $245 for the flooring and the trim. And I was able to do it in about one evening. Here I was starting to buy the furniture. You can see I have my grow tents. Those are actually for my resin printers. And really what I focus on here is space. So space, you lose a lot of space in the gaming hobby area. If everyone probably here can agree with that. So, and you can see this is all my hobby stuff in my bedroom that my wife wanted, obviously, for us to get out of the bedroom. So, and it's a lot of stuff, so I needed to think about space. So here's my desk. I have an actually standing desk, which is really nice, and then nice ventilation for my 3D printers, table, and yeah, it came out really good. Those are workbenches there. They go up to 48 inches, so nice high workbenches. So it worked out really good. 2 display cabinets. That way I can display my miniatures finally, which is awesome. And the ventilation, which is so important for resin printing, and worked out. It also will regulate heat really well in those. And then I've got my little hobby shelves to the right there for my terrain. I've got a roll out cart to do any type of printer cleanup. My goal is on the other side here. I'll have 2 FDM printers under there, and terrain takes up a lot of space, and I have a lot more terrain than I need to make, unfortunately. So I have the loft. I need to organize this a little bit, but yeah. And then I've got my airbrush corner there. I've got these beautiful display cabinets. Now that's a very inviting environment for people to come in and play. I've got the lights. Those are rechargeable, and they're RGB, so they can change colors if I really want them to. And now I got my armies displayed, which is awesome. They're just not in boxes sitting in corners, which is great. I love it. It's every time I open the door, I'm so excited to get in there and get after painting. And again, here's my, it's just my desk. I labeled everything for all my tools, trying to be very minimal. Here's a standing desk so I can change my posture. Here's my painting corner. I've got a telescoping ladder, so that way that doesn't take up a lot of space. And now my paints are in a drawer, and I don't have to worry about them being on the wall. And this is my space. Well, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, please like and subscribe. Thanks.